Recording. Okay. This over. There we go. Okay, cool. So I'm literally just gonna bring you guys through a conversation I had with someone. I literally like screenshotted the whole thing, and I'm gonna kind of just like break down like basically the whole thought process behind it as well, so you can like see why I like word things certain ways or kind of like bring certain things up first, and you can actually tangibly see like how exactly I word everything. For me, I feel like I'm always an example person, and that's kind of how I learn. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys, because I know that like being able to see someone's actual like full conversation is what really kind of helped me figure out how to word things best. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Let's get everybody's faces out of the way. Okay, so conversation basics. So it all starts with an invite, so I'll kind of break down like two different ways if someone like reaches out to you first versus if you directly invite them. But then focusing on like slowing your roll. I think especially when like it's the first kind of people that like let us know that they're interested in things like that, it can be really exciting to be able to like share what we do with someone and have someone that's interested in learning more about it and is like possibly interested in joining us. And sometimes I think that excitement can kind of turn into word vomit. And it's almost like you just like give too much information too fast, and it's overwhelming for the person on the other side of the screen to take all of that in. So you kind of just have to like take a deep breath and like slow yourself down and break up your conversation into little chunks, so that way it's easier for them to understand all that we have to offer. And then simplify everything. So it's super easy for us to understand what we're doing and like all the resources we have to offer, what the heck like Beachbody On Demand is and what the meal plans look like and things like that, because we've looked at it before and we use it every day and we're familiar with it. But like really honing in on your skills and trying to figure out how you can easily break that down and explain each part to someone so they fully understand the value of what they're getting. And I'll show you how I do that. And then ending each message with a question, which is basically just so that person feels the need to respond, but also because you can kind of direct where you want the conversation to go in that way, and you can really get to know the person better, get to know, you know, what their goals are, what kind of time commitment they can make and things like that, where you can really direct the conversation in a way where you can fully explain how all the resources we have can meet all of the challenges that they specifically have. So let's jump into it. So starting with like where the heck the conversation starts from. So it can either start from someone like showing interest, if you have like a poll on your story that they respond to, or you have like a CTA on your page that they respond to, and you reach out that way. So this is what I always send to people. Generally, I'm reaching out to people from my stories and not from posts on my page when it comes to boot camps, just because that's how I generally do my CTAs. But so I say, hey girl, I saw your vote on my Instagram poll. I'm so excited to share this with you. These online boot camps are what originally helped me build love and appreciation for myself and my body. So in that way, it's like I add a little bit of like who I am and what I appreciate about these boot camps in there, but like just a short synopsis of it. And then I give an overall view of what we do in general. So they're already kind of forming an idea of what I have to offer them. So I say they focus on providing workouts, nutrition, and accountability, so you not only have the resources you need, but the support to keep going. I would love to hear more about your goals. What kind of workouts you like? Dang, guys, I'm really out of breath. Workout. Whew, it's hard to talk. Okay. Versus you initiate. So someone's constantly looking at your stories, they're constantly liking your posts, and you reach out to them to see if they'd be interested in more info. So you could say something along the lines of, hey girl, just wanted to say thank you so much for all the support you give my page. It means more than you know. I don't know if you saw my stories, but I'm opening enrollment for my next online bootcamp. I just wanted to check in to see if that's something you might be interested in and if you wanted to snag more info. And then, so if I initiate it and they say they want to know more about it, instead of me being like, well, it's the most awesome thing ever, and you have access to Netflix for fitness, and it comes with meal plans, and it comes with this and that and this, and this is what I love about it, and splurting all of that on them at once and like scaring them away, I go back to this and I say, I am so excited to share this with you. These online boot camps are what originally helped me build love and appreciation for myself and my body. They focus on providing blah, 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 and I go for the same exact thing on the bottom here. And then I send that out to them. So I'm already slowing the conversation down, giving them a general idea of what it is I do, and then at that point, they're kind of deciding like, is this something I'm really interested in or not? So when you slow it down like that, you give them a chance to kind of get like, you're like allowing them to kind of put their feelers out there and like kind of feel out whether or not this is the right fit for them without like giving them every single thing that we have to offer and like overwhelming them at once. So just starting with this general overview. Okay, so slow your roll. I'm interested in learning more about it. So don't explain everything at once. I kind of went over that already. Give an overview of what you're providing first, so they have that general idea of everything that we have to offer, but literally making it into like 1 or 2 sentences. You don't want to be sending them this huge paragraph because they're still like trying to figure out what it is exactly you do. So make it short and sweet because they're just kind of like, maybe I'm interested in this, maybe I'm not. But like, do they want to read a whole novel about it? Probably not. So give them a short synopsis first and allow them to make that decision for themselves. And then if they continue the conversation, that's when you can kind of get more in detail about things. So give a little bit of value, then end with a question. So for this invite, my little bit of value is me just shortly and like concisely explaining what it is that we do in a couple sentences and why I appreciate it, and then I ended that question. So I'd love to hear more about your goals, what kind of workouts you like. And this is where you should always start, because at the beginning of your conversation, you already want them to become invested in that conversation. You already want them to be talking to you about what their goals are, why this is important to them, why they want to start a health and fitness journey, or what's not working for them in the health and fitness journey that they're on right now. So already they're like admitting to you and writing down and putting it into like, you know, physical form that they're not having success in their journey right now and something needs to change. And that already helps them commit to that conversation with you that much more. And make the conversation about them, but relate to their challenges with your own story. So you're not sharing like everything that you freaking love about Beachbody and everything that's done for you and what program you freaking love the most and blah, 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 and how it's helped you, unless it relates to a challenge that they have. So if they're telling you that they struggle with like finding time to work out or something, you're not talking about how you really love the 80-day obsession, which is like the longest program that we have with like the longest workouts, you know, because that doesn't make sense for what they're telling you. So making sure that like the little anecdotes you share give value to the challenge that they're specifically having. And I'll show you how that works in a conversation. Okay, so slow your roll. I'm interested in learning more about it. So this is the same thing I shared with you before. So break it down into that short and concise explanation. And really this just takes practice. I had so many invites that I went through in the beginning and a lot of them were not working for me. So I literally just sat down and thought like, okay, overall, in general, like how do I explain what I appreciate about this so much and how it's given value to me? So it helped me build love and appreciation for myself and my body. That's one sentence. And maybe for you, it's like, it helped me figure out how to be healthy and work out in a way that was manageable for my busy life. You know, whatever that could be in one sentence, put that in there. And then you can explain what it is that we do overall in one other sentence so they get this whole general overview of like what it is that we do and the value that it shares. Okay, so here's the actual conversation. So this girl had, She had responded to one of my polls like back in November. So this conversation actually started with a follow-up. So she responded to one of my polls, and then when I reached out to her with the exact message that I shared with you guys, she never responded. So this is me following up with her like a little over a month later, seeing if she was interested. And this time she actually responded. So we're just going to go into it. So I sent her a follow-up, and she says, I'd definitely be interested in more information. Life has been insane, but I'm starting to really look into how I can turn myself around. So when people start giving you like what's not working for them, and they start, you know, really opening up to you and being more vulnerable, always try to relate to where they are, even if you don't, even if it's something that's like something you've never been through before and you don't necessarily fully understand or something. Just be like, you know, like, girl, I get it, that's tough, you know? Try to relate on some level, or at least try to let them know that like you hear them and you get where they're coming from. So I say, I feel you, girl, life can get so busy. I think that's what I appreciate about these programs the most. They made it so much more manageable to actually fit working out into my life, even with a full-time job. So I'm focusing on, like, I'm giving an anecdote about why I appreciate this, but in relation to what she's struggling with. So she wants to get healthy, but she has a really busy life. She has a lot of things going on, and she's trying to figure out how to make that work. So I share how these programs, like, I'm not even giving information on how they've helped me do it yet. I'm just giving a general overview of like the fact that these programs have helped me when I had like a super busy lifestyle. So I'd say, I'd love to hear more about what you're trying to work on mentally or physically. So here I'm really trying to like dwindle it down, because if I'm just going off of the fact that she, you know, wants to be healthy but is really busy, I don't have much to work with here. So you really want to kind of ask questions and get them to explain more and give you more information of what they're trying to specifically work on, what their overall goal is. And some people, like, right out the gates will be like, well, like, I really want to lose 10 pounds and I want to like tone up my legs and I want to, you know, like XYZ, I just want to like have more energy, and they'll be really specific about it, which is awesome. But some people are super vague, so you need to ask more clarifying questions to kind of get them to really explain what it is they're looking for, so then that way you can give them a specific recommendation for something that's going to work for them. But as I said before, focusing on their pain points first to grab their attention. So really asking them to explain why it is they want this, what's not working for them, what they're trying to get out of this. And I say mentally or physically because some people don't really know what they're trying to work on physically. They don't really know much about health and fitness. They just know that they're uncomfortable in their skin. So some people will just be like, I don't really know. I just want to feel comfortable in my skin. I just want to feel happier, or, you know, like things like that. And then you kind of know that maybe they do better off on like a more low impact beginner program to start off with, because they don't have this background experience. Okay, so get to know their situation. So she says, I really want to eat better and find some manageable workouts that will actually help me feel and look better mostly. I've definitely been stuck in a rut and I need to get out. So then you really want to get to know them. You want to know how much time they have a day to work out. You know, what kind of workout programs do they usually like? Or is there something specific they're trying to work on in terms of like building strength, or, you know, I don't know, like losing fat, or like people have different like physical goals that they're trying to go after. So, you know, if someone's telling me they like really want to build strength, I'm not going to be like, oh, why don't you try the 3-week yoga retreat, you know? So you really want to like get to know them and what they're looking for, so you can give them a specific program suggestion and really explain to them how that's going to help meet all the challenges that they're having and answer all the things that they're looking for. So I say, I feel you, girl, we can definitely get you there. How much time do you usually have a day to work out? And she says, realistically, probably about an hour a day. I'm working 2 jobs, so that eats up a ton of time, and I'm usually exhausted. LOL. So even just going off of this, if someone's like talking about how freaking tired they are all the time, I still would go towards a shorter program just because you're still going to get amazing results. You don't want it to feel even more overwhelming for them in their busy schedule. And you want it to feel manageable for them so they stick with it. Do you guys kind of see how like each conversation is different, but you really just have to like stop and slow down and kind of analyze the situation and ask them these questions to really figure out, you know, what program out of what we have is something that you can suggest to them. And I'll show you how I kind of break that down. But I always start like more general and then dwindle it down to a specific program suggestion based on everything that they've told me. So show the value overall. So this is where I start more general, and she's already interested in the conversation. I've already had her go through, you know, like why she wants this, why she's interested in working out, what's not working for her. So she's already invested in finding a solution for herself. So now I go over like a full overview of what Beachbody On Demand is. I don't use like labels for anything. I don't mention any program specifically unless someone asks me. I don't mention Beachbody ever in my conversation unless like someone specifically asks me like what company I work with, just because I think a lot of people have preconceived notions about like home workout programs or like Beachbody in general, kind of a lot of the time, if you haven't noticed. So a lot of the time I just leave that out of the equation and I just talk about the value of what we have to offer. So I say I definitely understand the struggle of trying to fit it in with a busy schedule, but that is totally doable. Most of our programs have workouts that are between 30 minutes to an hour, so I'm already explaining how our workouts would fit in her schedule, so it would work perfectly with your schedule. And on the super tiring days, you have the option of picking something shorter, so you still get a workout in, which is nice. When you sign up, you gain access to all of our programs, 70 plus different ones, everything from yoga, Pilates, HIIT, cardio, strength training. It's insane, but it's awesome because there's always something new to try. I never get bored of what I'm doing anymore. Do you have a gym membership or would you prefer working out at home? So I'm still trying to figure out, you know, like what kind of workout she typically enjoys and goes for, so I can give her an appropriate suggestion for her. But I give her an overview so she knows not only is she going to wind up with the program that I suggest to her that like fits the criteria of how much time she has to commit and what she's looking for to work on and things like that, but she also knows the whole value of what she's getting and all the different programs that she's getting. And I've already explained that. So that way, when we get to the end and we talk about price, she's like equating that price to 70 plus different programs, not just the one I suggested to her. So it makes that price seem even more like, I guess, not as costly as it would if she thought it was just for a single program. And it just bumps up the value of what you have to offer that more and helps them understand that. Next one. Okay, so then getting specific. So she says, I have a gym membership, but I work out more at home, honestly. So I say, okay, honestly, that's perfect. You can do our programs at home or the gym. Some of the Pilates and cardio programs require no equipment at all, but I've been able to do most at home just with a pair of dumbbells I bought at Walmart. So, you know, helping her understand that these are like versatile. She can do them anywhere, but there's a lot that she can do at home if that's what she's choosing to do. And then still going general and helping her understand like the value of everything. I say a personal trainer breaks down, oh, I didn't even say trainer. Well, oh well. And a personal trainer breaks down everything for you, warm up, cool down, how to do each movement, how long of breaks to take. It takes out all that guesswork. Is there something you're trying to specifically work on or just feeling better in general? So helping explain that she also has guidance if she doesn't know what she's doing to help show her move for move what the heck she's doing, which honestly, most of the people that reach out to me are people who lack that guidance, who really need that guidance. You know, sometimes I have people who randomly like have done CrossFit and it's just like they're not getting the results that they want and things like that. But for the most part, it's people that are like, yeah, I go to the gym and I kind of like tinker around with some machines and like maybe I hop on the treadmill, but like I don't really know what I'm doing. And so being able to explain that like you have someone that literally breaks down everything for you and you don't have to think about it and it makes it simplified, like takes that like stress off their shoulders. It makes it seem less overwhelming. It makes this health and fitness journey seem that much easier. And that's like a huge resource in and of itself, that they have someone to give that guidance there. So then she says, I just want to lose weight. LOL, I'd like to tone out my legs and butt too. So here is where I start thinking of like, okay, what are programs that focus specifically more on like leg and butt work or like lower body work, you know? And I'm probably not going to suggest like yoga or Pilates as much as like weights, because that's truly going to help tone her up. So you really need to have like an understanding of the programs that we have to offer as well, so you can make a suggestion for them. And that's truly, I think, what makes them feel like you're not just trying to like make a sale off of them or get to a yes or anything like that, because you're taking the time to like break all of this down for them step by step and help them understand exactly what it is we have to offer, but then also like truly trying to get to know them and their situation and giving suggestions specific to that situation that they have. And if you don't know all the programs, like I have not done half the programs we have so many. But you can literally go through Beachbody On Demand and scroll through things, and they have like synopsises of like each program, and it tells you like what it focuses on, if it's like for beginners, if it's low impact, like what equipment you need and things like that. So sometimes people say things to me and they have certain goals where I'm like, that doesn't really meet like the criteria of any of the programs that I've personally done before. So I go to Beachbody On Demand because I don't know all of them by heart, and I will literally look through and be like, what could work through this for this person? So you're not expected to like be an encyclopedia of information on like Beachbody, on health and fitness, but like take advantage of the tools that you do have and use them to your advantage in your conversations, and use them to make suggestions for things. So if someone says they want to like tone up their legs and butt and you're not sure what kind of program would work for that, go to Beachbody On Demand and just scroll through real quick and look at some programs so you can have that solid suggestion for them. But that's also why it's important to like try different programs and things like that as well, so you have a solid like understanding of all the different programs that we have to offer and how they can meet those needs. So from that point, you give a suggestion. So we already know how long she has to work out. She has about an hour, but she's super busy and tired all the time. So I'm probably going to go for a shorter program just so it's not overwhelming for her. Gym versus home preference. She has a gym membership, but she likes working out at home. So a workout program that she could comfortably do in either place would be awesome. And we already know that she's specifically trying to work on lower body, legs, and booty. So I say, I feel ya, legs and booty are what I tend to focus on a lot too. I bet you would love the first program I did. So I don't even mention what it is, but it's the 21-day fix. So I just give like a brief overview. I'm not like, I bet you would love the 21-day fix. She probably doesn't know what it is anyway, so just explain what the program is and give a brief overview so she can see kind of how it meets everything that she's looking for. So I say the workouts are about 30 minutes a day and focus on weights to help you tone like you want to, and HIIT for cardio, which revs up your metabolism and will help you lose weight like you want as well. So I give that synopsis, but then I connect what the program does back to her goals. So she sees how that works, even if she doesn't know what HIIT is and things like that. But what I love about this trainer is she always has more of a leg and booty focus to her workouts. And she has a bunch of different programs so you can really grow right alongside the programs, which is an awesome thing, like 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme, 80-day obsession, and like all those, like a little obsessed and all of those, like they all kind of go in succession from each other. So like she can grow over time. I loved it so much I did it 3 times in a row. So then connecting back to my own experience again, I can send you some transformations if you'd like to see what the results look like for yourself. So I've already gone through like how all this stuff meets what she's looking for, but then I give her proof. And if you don't have like transformation photos, I'll let you in on a little secret. This might not be something that I really should be doing, but I do it anyways. I go into Instagram, and if you look at, you go into the search part and you go to tags, you can look up 21-day fix results or whatever program that you're suggesting, and you can screenshot some and, you know, like crop out like the person's username and things like that. So it's just the photo, and screenshot a few of those and send them over as like proof for that program. And then if I've done the program, I always send over mine as well, just because I think like your own personal experience holds a lot more weight with the people that you're talking to, because they're trying to build that conversation with you and they want to see if this is working for you specifically. So then you send the proof. There's my transformation. So then I say most of those are after about 4 to 6 weeks. Do you have any nutrition challenges at all, like cravings, portion control, knowing what to eat? So literally, like, this takes time, you guys. It does. But you're making this person feel like you're truly invested in helping them. You're making them feel like you're truly invested in figuring out like what their specific challenges are and how you can specifically like help them, and you're making them feel cared for. And that is truly what gets you to a yes at the end, is making this person feel like you're truly invested in finding something that would work specifically for them. So I break it all down for the workouts and everything. I give them the specific suggestion, give them the proof, and then I talk about nutrition a little bit. And this I never really focus on a ton, but it is always kind of like the end of the conversation for me. So then I dive deeper into their nutrition challenges. And I always word it like this because it's something I know I can answer, and it's kind of a leading question, to be honest. So I say, do you have any nutrition challenges at all, like cravings? Because then I know I can suggest Shakeology and talk about that. Portion control, I can talk about the portion containers, and knowing what to eat, I know I can talk about a breakdown of the meal plans, recipes, grocery lists, and all that good stuff. So I already kind of go into it asking this question and knowing that I already have like solutions to give them based on these things. And in general, no one ever picks a challenge outside of those 3 things because I've already kind of fed them the answer. So that's just kind of how I break it down, and it makes it a little bit easier for me to respond. And sometimes people say that they don't have any challenges with nutrition at all, and that's cool, that's fine, but I still let them know what we have to offer so they know that that's a resource that they would be getting in that full package at the end. So I'll give them a brief breakdown of like, and I'll say like, I know you don't have, you said you don't have challenges like nutrition wise, but just so you know, every program we have does come with its own nutrition guide, complete with meal plans, blah, 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 blah. And I just say, I know you don't have challenges, but it could be like a good resource for you, especially the recipes, just so they know kind of like what they're getting and that they do have that resource should they choose to use it. But this girl specifically says, I eat entirely way too much sugar and I'm horrible at meal prepping, LOL. I need to figure out how to have quick, balanced meals. So again, relate, just let them know they're heard. Oh my God, I feel you. I'm such a food person, like salty or sweet, I will eat it. What has really helped me is this superfood shake we drink. So if anyone talks about, you know, I eat too much sugar, I snack too much, things like that, I equate it to like cravings for things. So then I go straight into superfood shake. I don't call it Shakeology, I always call it superfoods, and I give them like a brief synopsis of what it is, but I don't go into like, it has ashwagandha in it and maca and matcha and it does this. Like I just give them a brief overview so they can see the value in it without like word vomiting on them again. So I say you get a full month when you sign up. It's full of dense nutrition to kickstart your metabolism, regulate your digestion, antioxidants, but it curbs cravings. It has really helped me get out of the habit of saying yes to all of those things so I can stick to my goals. So answering that craving problem, showing how we can answer that for her. And then I dive into the next part. And as far as meal prep goes, each program actually comes with its own nutrition guide, meal plan recipes, grocery lists, and a set of portion containers. So it legit shows you food for food, what to eat and when to eat it. It has taught me so much about how to fuel my body right and not eat so many carbs. So I give a brief explanation and then just like a brief synopsis of like why it has helped me, just to add a little value there. But it comes with a resource with a bunch of different weekly meal prep ideas, including quick and no-cook ones for people on busy schedules. Literally such a blessing. And I just added that in because I know she lives a busy life. And if you didn't know, like the Beachbody blog has like meal prep ideas, weekly meal prep ideas and recipes and things like that on there. So again, knowing the resources that you have and that you can offer people, so that way you can specifically suggest those cool tools that we have in conversations. So then I always end with, does this sound like something that would work for you? So I always ask that at the end because it's so easy to just like explain anything and leave it at there. But sometimes people would read that and they'd be like, okay, cool. Like, thanks for the info, you know? You literally have to be like, are you interested? But I do it in like a more casual way, so it doesn't seem like I'm putting pressure on them. And I just say, like, does it sound like something that would work for you? And from there, she says, that sounds awesome. And sometimes people are kind of like more unsure, and I'll like, then you can like question like what they're wondering more about and things like that. But so she says, that's awesome. And then before I even talk price, I give an overview of like everything that she's getting again. So before she sees that dollar amount, she's reminded of like how much freaking value there is in this whole package that she's getting all together. So I say, amazing girl. So all you need to get started is the actual package. So it comes as a package deal with access to our online workout database, which comes with this program plus all of our other ones. Yoga, Pilates, HIIT cardio, ab focus, more strength training programs. You get 70 plus different programs. It's insane. Each program also comes with its own specific meal plan catered to your goals and access to recipes. And the portion containers to show you how much to eat of what food group literally has saved me with carbs. It comes with a full month of superfood shake to curb those sugar cravings. And you'll have access to me and every group I run for a full year for all my tips and accountability from me and my girls. All for a one-time payment of $160. And then I just started adding this in recently. I'll say you have 30 days to try it out and see if it works for you and still get a full refund, but I have no doubt you'll love it. How does that sound? So that just makes them feel a little bit more comfortable, I feel like, too, in making that investment, because they're just like, they're not thinking like, well, what if I give you $160 and I pay for this and like it sucks and it's not something that works for like my lifestyle. You know, like people have reservations with just like handing out their money. So if you let them know that it's not like set in stone and they have that chance to get a refund should it not be for them, it makes them feel more confident to sign up with you. So that's just a little tip there. And then she says, honestly, that sounds pretty solid. I'm interested. And then I go into enrollment. So I just ask her basically everything that I would put into a share cart for her. And that is it, you guys. So I don't know if you have any specific questions or anything. I saw one thing in the chat. Hold on, let me stop my share. How do you react to people that jump the gun and ask for the price before you give the value? I slow them down, or to be honest, a lot of the time I just ignore it. Because if you are just saying up front like it's $160, they're already out the door, they don't care. So a lot of the times, like I'll ask like, oh, are you already on like health and fitness journey? Are you looking to start one? Like ask them a question to get them start talking, and just kind of say like, hey, thanks for like reaching out. Or sometimes you can say like, it kind of depends on your goals and what you're looking for. Like all the packages are different, and things like that. So that way it kind of slows them down and you can explain everything before you're like, this is the package based on like everything you told me. But to be honest, I haven't really gotten that in a long time. Any other questions? Was that helpful? Yeah. I'll post the slides too, so you guys can go back through and kind of like read everything back through and see how that all works out. But it really just comes down to kind of like slowing yourself down and really allowing yourself to take the time to like talk them through everything. And sometimes I think like we get so excited that someone's interested that we want to just kind of like say everything at once and like get through this whole process, but you really have to like slow yourself down and break everything down into these little bits that they can like understand and build up that trust and help them to really understand that you're trying to help them. But I will post that for you guys, and if that's it for questions, my dog's sighing at me, then I will let you guys go. Have a good night. Bye, guys.